Archangel Michael says, there are things hidden from your eyes that are about to rise like smoke from a burning field. A truth, long buried and kept in the shadows of silence, is now stretching its fingers into your present. What your father once did in secret has finally started affecting your destiny, and it will no longer stay buried. This is not something you could have ever expected. It was a deal, made in haste, rooted in desperation, with consequences far beyond what he ever imagined. And now, those consequences are knocking at your door. Your energy has been fluctuating for reasons you couldn't understand, but the source of that disturbance links back to him. It wasn't just a casual agreement, it was a signature, a vow, an entanglement with someone who carries a powerful influence in this world. That signature bound not just your father but parts of your soul's journey as well. The effects have been subtle, creeping into your life like fog crawling under a closed door. Strange resistance in your success, opportunities collapsing at the last moment, unexplained betrayal. This is why. His silence was protection once, but now it's becoming the chain holding your progress hostage. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The documents were signed without your knowledge, and your name was mentioned more than once. They were not legal contracts in the earthly sense, but spiritual alignments, promises that tethered your inheritance. And now that time has passed, those forces have returned to collect. Your path was destined to be clear, but his actions introduced delay and struggle. Someone your father trusted manipulated him, urging him to make a spiritual exchange, and in return, they promised to protect the family. But the protection was a lie, it was control wrapped in a golden box. You are feeling the heat now because the terms of that deal are reaching their final hour. And in that final hour, a shift is happening. This is why you've been having odd dreams, moments of déjà vu, feelings of being watched, because you are now being observed. The one who encouraged your father to seal the deal has returned to see if you will follow the same path. They are testing your reactions, placing temptations, watching your moves. You have entered the hour of revelation. Type Amen to get blessing 464. Archangel Michael says, the spiritual war you're fighting now is not yours alone. You inherited it unknowingly through blood, through silence, through a door your father never dared to close. He didn't think it would reach you, but it has. He thought his silence would protect you. He believed that if he never spoke about it, the deal would fade. But spiritual alignments don't dissolve with silence, they grow in the dark like mold on untouched stone. There is a woman who knows about this. She was present at the time of the deal, and she remembers what your father said. She's older now, and her lips have been sealed for decades, but she is beginning to feel guilt. She will attempt to reach out to you in the coming days. Her method will be quiet, perhaps a letter, perhaps through someone else, but her words will shake you. She is the key to unraveling part of this. Type Amen to get blessing 552. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your father had his reasons. He was desperate, tired, surrounded by pressure. He thought he was saving his family from ruin, but he didn't understand what he was sacrificing. You were not born yet, but your soul was included in the price. The deal included a spiritual signature tied to your future energy. That's why you sometimes feel disconnected from your own path, as though something is always interfering at the edge. What your father did created a spiritual fog around you. But there is good news, you are awakening. Your mind is breaking the barrier, and your soul is remembering pieces of the truth that were once covered. That's why these messages are reaching you now. It was planned from above that you would know this exactly at this time. No earlier, no later. The moment you're reading this is the hour when the seal begins to loosen. Type Amen to get blessing 608. There's a man who knew about your father's decision. He still walks this earth. He has made a good life for himself, built on the backbone of that agreement. He has information, proof, recordings, letters, perhaps even your father's writing. But he's not ready to reveal it yet. He's afraid. Afraid because if he tells the truth, his own foundation may fall. He knows what was exchanged. He knows what was said and signed. And part of him wonders if you'll come. For what is yours? He doesn't know that heaven is watching now. Every lie, every cover-up is slowly being pulled into light. You are no longer in the dark. Type Amen to get blessing 777. This is not just about land or wealth. It's about spiritual dominion, access to generational favor, abundance, and protection. Your father's deal affected your spiritual crown, your divine right to rise in power. Someone noticed that your light was dimming. They benefited from that. They used the moment to insert their own name where yours was supposed to shine. But your angels are surrounding you now, correcting the alignments. One by one, they are removing blockages, cutting ties that were never yours to carry. You must allow them to finish the work. Archangel Michael says, you are about to see your father in a new light, not just as a parent, but as a man who made a mistake. A mistake that cost you time, favor, and peace. Type Amen to get blessing 891. Your dreams have started revealing flashes of people you don't recognize. Those people were part of the deal. They were spiritually assigned to monitor the outcomes. They have lingered around your energy, sometimes disguised as friends or lovers, sometimes as enemies. But now, the veil is thinning. You'll start to see them for who they are. Some of them are about to leave your life, either by their own will or divine removal. Don't chase what exits. The angels are cleansing your circle. And soon, you'll begin to notice a strange feeling of lightness, as if you've taken off invisible chains. That's the first sign of breakthrough. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The place where your father went to make this deal still exists. It may be a property, a room, a quiet office, or even a sacred site. That location holds a memory, a residue, a vibration that you are now being spiritually pulled toward. One day soon, you may be guided to go there, perhaps in a dream, perhaps by accident. Pay attention to signs around you. There will be feathers, numbers, or a name repeated. The moment you step foot there, something will shift. The memory your soul carries will start to return. And you will remember why your energy has felt divided. That is when the unlocking begins. Type Amen to get blessing 1088. There is an old box somewhere in your family's possession. It may be hidden, forgotten, or misplaced. That box contains a letter or an object connected to the agreement. The energy around that box is heavy. You may feel strange when you're near it, dizzy, tense, or overwhelmed. That's your soul reacting to the suppressed truth it carries. When you find it, open it carefully. Inside may be a key to reversing what was done. And once it's opened, nothing will ever be the same again. Because that box is proof that your future was touched long before you had a chance to shape it. Type Amen to get blessing 1152. You have spiritual rights that must be reclaimed. Your destiny was interfered with, but it has not been destroyed. Can be restored. There is a ritual in the spiritual realm already prepared for you. A cleansing of lineage, a breaking of inherited pacts, a rebalancing of justice. Heaven is watching your response. The more you understand, the more power you regain. And soon, others will begin to notice a shift in your presence. Your words will carry weight, and your walk will shake the floor beneath spiritual lies. This is your time of returning. Type Amen to get blessing 1274. Archangel Michael says, you will not carry the weight of your father's decision forever. The moment is close where you will be fully released. But the revelation must be complete. That's why you're being called to open the hidden chapters. To speak to the woman who knows. To confront the man who hides the papers. To face the place that holds the echo of the deal. You are not alone. Angels have been dispatched. They are surrounding the people and locations involved, setting divine pressure until truth breaks free. Every lie ever told about you, every path stolen, every favor rerouted, it is all being restored. Type Amen to get blessing 1344. Someone in your life has been trying to protect you from this truth. They know pieces, not all, but enough to worry. They've been acting strange, holding back, trying not to speak. Soon, they'll have no choice. Circumstances will expose what they know. They will be forced to explain their silence. And when they do, your spirit will connect dots that once seemed scattered. You will remember conversations, looks, odd phrases, signs you missed. This is not the end. This is the great undoing of a silent burden. Type Amen to get blessing 1477. There's a spiritual scroll with your name written on it. And that scroll is being rewritten as you read this message. The energies once tied to you are being reassigned. You are rising above what was meant to suppress you. The name that was buried is rising like fire through ash. Your legacy is not lost, it was simply paused. Now the time has resumed. The path is reopening. And no force will be able to stop the light coming for you. Type Amen to get blessing 1555. The scroll of destiny is unraveling fast now. What once was sealed under secrecy is no longer protected by time or silence. The spiritual contract your father entered into is reaching its expiration, but that does not mean the effects will vanish on their own. There's a window of intervention, a divine gap through which you must walk. This period is short, urgent, and very important. Your choices in the next few days will determine how much of that lingering shadow remains. One specific name keeps repeating in the spiritual realm. It's tied to your father's connection, a person who was involved in influencing him. This name will come to you when you're still, perhaps during a quiet moment, a dream, or when you read something ordinary. Pay close attention. That name is a spiritual gate. Type Amen to get blessing 1653. There's an old friend of your father, someone you may have met briefly as a child. He appears harmless but holds more truth than you realize. He was a witness to the deal and benefited from your father's loss. He wears a calm smile but carries a serpent's whisper in his heart. He is one of the reasons your father couldn't speak openly about what happened. This man will soon make contact again. He will act like he wants to help, but behind his voice lies manipulation. Be spiritually armored when he approaches you. Heaven is watching that moment very closely. Type Amen to get blessing 1722. A strange financial pattern is also tied to this situation. You may have noticed that every time you reach a breakthrough, an unexpected bill, crisis, or betrayal steals it away. That is not coincidence. It's the residue of the old deal, energies pulling you back when you try to move forward. Those cycles were designed to keep you dependent, lost, and frustrated. But your awareness is cracking that code. The more you recognize the patterns, the less control they have. The moment you see it, you weaken it. The moment you speak it aloud, you shatter its foundation. Type Amen to get blessing 1833. A specific date is approaching where the full truth will reveal itself. On that day, you may feel drained, anxious, or overwhelmed, but it is not something to fear. That feeling is your spirit responding to a spiritual shift. You may notice changes in people's behavior around you. Some may become distant. Others may show unexpected kindness. The environment will respond to your rising energy. That day will mark the beginning of your release. From that point on, the shackles placed by your father's choice will begin to loosen more visibly. But your response is key. Accept this mission with clarity and power. Type Amen to get blessing 1977. Archangel Michael says, "You were not supposed to carry this burden, but you were chosen to break it. What your father allowed in weakness, you will undo in strength." This is Moment of Generational Justice. You are the turning point, the one who will end the cycle of spiritual sabotage. Heaven did not bring you to this message by mistake. This moment is marked in your book of life. And though it may feel heavy now, you will look back and realize this was your finest hour, the moment you stepped into your full calling, your full light. You are walking into divine power. Type Amen to get blessing 2044. Soon, you'll begin to hear words that feel oddly familiar, phrases you've never said but seem to remember. This is a symptom of ancestral memory being unlocked. You are reclaiming not only your voice but the voice of your bloodline. When this happens, write them down. Some of those words carry hidden codes, truths, and names that will make sense later. Heaven speaks through echo. There will also be someone younger, perhaps a child or teen, who suddenly says something that pierces your spirit. It will sound innocent, but it is a divine message wrapped in simplicity. Do not ignore those moments. They are breadcrumbs from the Spirit. Type Amen to get blessing 2155. One more person from your family line is carrying a portion of this burden without knowing it. Their life has also been restricted in subtle ways. They feel stuck, delayed, or always overshadowed. They may even harbor secret resentment toward you, unaware that the same source is tying both your destinies. You will have a choice, to cut the cord alone or bring healing to both. If your heart allows, initiate a quiet conversation. The truth you speak may set more than one person free. You are the voice now, the one chosen to speak what others feared. And the silence will break. Type Amen to get blessing 2227. In the final pages of this unfolding, a strange blessing will appear. It may come in the form of unexpected money, a legal opportunity, or a spiritual breakthrough during rest. It will seem sudden, but it is a reward. Heaven always balances the scales. For every chain that broke, a blessing is born. This is your harvest season after long spiritual labor. Your Father may never fully confess, but His Spirit already knows you're close to discovering the truth. Deep in His heart, He wants you to succeed, even if He can't say it. Let His silence be your fuel. Let His mistake be your transformation. Type Amen to get blessing 2377. This is not a warning, it is a resurrection. You are not being cursed, but cleansed. What once was buried is now being uncovered for divine reversal. You may have lost time, but you haven't lost purpose. You may have cried, but your crown is still waiting. You may have walked in confusion, but the light has returned. Walk forward, chosen one. Not in fear, but in fierce clarity. The generational contract ends with you, and the divine alignment begins. Type Amen to get blessing 2444. Archangel Michael says, there are final pieces still left scattered, but you are about to gather them one by one. You are walking into a sacred revelation that not many people in your family could have survived. But your spirit was designed for this, your awakening is not random. From childhood, there were moments when you felt different, disconnected, or drawn toward things others ignored. That deep inner pull was your soul trying to lead you toward this truth. Now, the full light is about to shine on what was kept hidden for too long. A spiritual scroll is being rewritten as you sleep. It contains your new alignment, one that removes the false attachments your father's deal placed upon you. And in this rewriting, your true spiritual name will rise again. Heaven is preparing your territory. Type Amen to get blessing 2511. There is still a hidden letter, either physical or digital, left behind by your father or someone close to him. It was never meant for public eyes but was written during a moment of guilt, grief, or fear. That letter holds a confession, perhaps coded in subtle language, but your spirit will know exactly what it means. When you come across this message, your chest will feel tight, and your body may tremble. Don't fear that reaction. It's your soul responding to what it long carried in silence. Do not rush to share it with others. First, sit with it. Then release the emotional weight it stirs. It is not there to hurt you, it is there to free you. That moment will be unforgettable. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. Soon, a dream will come. It will be vivid, like a movie. You may see a room filled with people you don't recognize, but one will stand out, a face, a whisper, a presence. That being is either a messenger or a memory. The dream may involve a staircase, a locked door, or an agreement being signed. These are symbols your spirit will decode after waking. Don't ignore them. When you wake, write it down quickly. You will be shown how to interpret it. Your ancestors are guiding you through symbols because the spoken word was taken from them long ago. Now, you become their voice. Type Amen to get blessing 2777. There is a place your feet have not yet touched, but you must go. A building, a home, a land, your father once visited it. That location still carries an energetic echo of what occurred. When you are near it, you will feel strange, maybe heavy, maybe electrified. It is not just a location, it's a spiritual altar, an intersection where destiny was altered. You are being led back not for punishment, but to reclaim. Reclaim the energy, reclaim the space, and reclaim your name that was once sacrificed. And when you leave, you'll feel it, a shift so strong, the air will feel different on your skin. Type Amen to get blessing 2844. The effects of your father's decision are not only spiritual. They reached into your relationships. That's why some connections didn't last. That's why some people disappeared without cause. They weren't rejecting you, they were repelled by the energy tied to that ancient agreement. Their spirit knew something was off, even if their mind didn't. But now, as you remove that energy, new connections will begin to form. Some old ones will return, others will break for good. Let them. Your soul needs clean space to bloom. No more recycled pain. Type Amen to get blessing 2911. There is a particular time of night, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., when your soul becomes most open. During this hour, your spiritual helpers are closest. You may feel an urge to wake up, pray, or just stare into the dark. Don't dismiss those moments. They are sacred visitations. The whispers in your heart during that time carry divine instruction. Sometimes, you may even hear your name. That's not imagination. That's the sound of the contract breaking. The heavens are realigning you. You are no longer who you were. The old is shedding. Type Amen to get blessing 3044. A specific object in your home may be holding blocked energy tied to your father's pact. It may be a picture, an old gift, a piece of furniture, or something you've never really liked but never removed. When you walk past it, you may feel irritation, heaviness, or emotional discomfort. That's your spirit rejecting it. That item has held spiritual memory. Don't be afraid to release it. Cleanse your space. Declutter your environment. You are entering a new energetic level, and old vibrations can no longer live in your orbit. What's leaving your life is making space for divine gifts. Type Amen to get blessing 3123. A financial shift is coming. The deal your father made delayed your abundance, but it didn't cancel it. The wealth tied to your name was never destroyed, it was just frozen. But now, the spiritual thaw has begun. Heaven is melting the walls placed around your blessings. You'll soon notice unexpected financial movements, refunds, gifts, inheritance, or doors you long thought shut. When it begins, don't speak too loudly about it. Protect your rising energy. Not all ears are clean, and not all smiles are sincere. Let your blessing be seen through results, not announcements. Type Amen to get blessing 3244. Your physical body may feel strange in the coming days: lightheadedness, tingling hands, emotional release, spontaneous crying. This is not illness. This is spiritual detox. The vibration in your blood is shifting. Generational agreements are being burned from your DNA. You are returning to your original divine design. Let the process complete. Don't suppress the emotions. Cry, rest, journal, do whatever your spirit commands. This is your sacred purification. Your ancestors are rejoicing. The curse is lifting. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. Archangel Michael says, "You were chosen not to suffer but to rise." The mistake your father made is not your ending, it is your unlocking. The chains are falling now because your spirit refused to remain in darkness. The angels are watching your strength, and heaven is preparing the final stage of this transformation. The timeline has shifted. You are now stepping into the version of you that was always meant to be. And when you look back, you won't feel pain. You'll feel power. You'll realize that this moment was not the destruction, it was the divine release. Type Amen to get blessing 3444.